Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at The Fountain, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Triumphant Thursday. What an awesome day to be in the presence of the Lord and to share it with all of you. Today, for all of us, is a very powerful day. It is that day in which we call Maundy Thursday. It represents the time of the Last Supper. It is when Jesus was with his disciples. We find this recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, the 26th chapter, verses 17 through 75. It is then that Jesus is with his disciples, and they begin to partake of what is known as the Passover meal. For all of our Jewish brothers and sisters, today is officially that day of Passover. It's the time in which they remember how God delivered them from the bitter pains of being in slavery and Egyptian bondage and captivity. It was then that God led them out. And for that reason, it is on this day that they begin to celebrate and thank God by celebrating in the Passover meal what Jesus did for us, God did for them. And today we see that Jesus has this Passover celebration with his disciples. As he is with them, he begins to remind all of them that he is going to let them know that they're going to be triumphant in all that God has given them to do. He begins to foretell of his death and that he will be the one to give his life for our life. It is also in this small little testimony that we see that Jesus tells his disciples, the ones who he has handpicked, and one of those who will betray him. He says, whatever you do, go do it quickly. This text begins to remind us that God wants us to always remind ourselves of how he has delivered us and has brought us out of darkness into the marvelous light, how he has now led us into victory. That's the reason we call it Triumphant Thursday. Well, 3 years ago on this Thursday, on this day of April 6th, my mother had her triumphant entry into heaven. It was early on that morning that we found out that she had closed her eyes on earth, but opened them in glory. You know, that's the joy, that's the expectation of all of us, to close our eyes down here, but to open our eyes up in glory. I'll always love, along with all my siblings, our mother, Viola C. Anderson. May God rest and bless her memory. And I know she's saving us a seat. You know, the good thing about moms always look out for you. They save you a seat. And I know she's watching from the portals of glory, telling all of us, y'all need to get ready and come on up here where you can be triumphant in life. Today, as Jesus had that last meal with his disciples, may all of us be mindful. You never know when it's going to be your last meal with a loved one. So go ahead and share with them the goodness of the Lord and tell them how much you love them and how much God will do great and marvelous things in their lives. Always know you're exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and we'll look forward to sharing with you again on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.